Good morning, students. Today we are going to begin with a new chapter. The name of the chapter is National Movement During the First World War, Lucknow Pact, and Other Developments. So, when you hear the term First World War, the first thing that comes in your mind is that whether our country, India, was a part of it or not. Some are even curious to know about the events that happened during that time. So in this chapter, we will learn about the nationalist movements that happened in India during the First World War. The greatest achievement of the World War period was the Lucknow Pact between the Congress and the Muslim Leagues. There were certain factors which brought the League and the Congress closer. The first one was changes in the objects of the Muslim League. Muslim League was now demanding self-government for India under the protection of the British Crown. Earlier, the League had promotion of loyalty, that is faithfulness towards the government, as one of their main objectives. International events also distanced the League from the government. In the First World War, Turkey had to fight against Great Britain. The Turkish ruler was the Caliph, that is the religious leader of the Muslims. Therefore, the Muslim leaders like Muhammad Ali and his brother Shaukat Ali encouraged the anti-British feelings among the Muslims in India. A compromise between the two factions of the Congress. Two divisions of the Congress were the assertives and the early nationalists. Ani Besant made efforts to reunite the two wings, that is, the assertives and the early nationalists of the Congress. Men like Jinnah and Muhammad Ali favored cooperation with the Congress. The significance of the Lucknow Session was that a joint scheme of reforms that later came to be known as the Lucknow Pact. It was formally adopted at Lucknow. So these were the factors that brought the League and the Congress closer. Next we move on to the main features or terms of the Lucknow Pact. Provincial legislature. 4/5 of the members of the provincial legislatures were to be elected and 1/5 nominated. They were to be elected through separate electorates. The Imperial Legislative Council was to consist of total 150 members. Out of this, 4/5 were to be elected and 1/5 nominated. 1/3 of the elected members were to be Muslims. Defense, foreign affairs, and making of war, peace, and the treaty were excluded from the control of the Imperial Legislature. Half the members of the Viceroy's Executive Council should be Indians, elected by the elected members of the Imperial Legislative Council. The Imperial government should not ordinarily interfere in the local affairs. That is, the central government should not ordinarily interfere in the local affairs of the provinces. That was autonomous provinces. It also safeguarded the religious interests. No legislative council, imperial or provincial, shall proceed with any bill or resolution affecting one or the other community if 3/4 of the members of that community oppose it on the ground that it would adversely affect their interests. The Council of the Secretary of State for India operating from England should be abolished. Then separation of judiciary from executive. In other words, judiciary should be separated from the executive. So these were the main features or terms of the Lucknow Pact. Total 8 terms are there. Learn any 4. Drawbacks of the Lucknow Pact. This is also very important, children. The pact kept alive the system of separate electorates. The pact also provided for Muslim representation in the council far in excess of their population in the total population. The pact also introduced the communal veto in legislation because no legislature could proceed with any bill if 3/4 of the members of a particular community opposed it. The executive branch of the government were responsible for the Secretary of State for India operating from England. Finally, all these decisions were made at the level of top leadership. There was no involvement of the Hindu and Muslim masses in this accord. Accord means in this agreement. So these were the drawbacks of the Lucknow Pact. From this, you can learn any four. So that's the end of this video. Thank you.